So woken up to a much cooler day in sunny Portugal, or not so sunny Portugal today. One thing we do want to get on with is a little plunge pool when it's hot, especially now and even in the winter when we come in January, February, March, hoping we can use it then. So the plan is to put it in an area here next to the pergola. I'll turn the camera around and show you the exact spot. So we want to install it sort of a square here, just big enough for a couple of people, but where we can sit in different directions. So I'm going to build in little seats. So first stage, dig a hole and make a great big concrete base for it to start with. Right, so using my traditional Portuguese spade, I've just dug out the shape, or the outer shape, and just put in 4 chairs to make sure the inner size is going to fit. Obviously the chairs will be stones or bricks covered in cement underneath the water, so that'll be more than big enough for 2 people. At a squeeze 4. So that's roughly what we're going to go for. Now I've just got to dig out that whole base quite deep, and then I'm going to fill it with some of the leftover rubble we've got from the house from over there, and make a giant sort of concrete platform to start building from. So that's my basic layout. Ground is rock hard, so I've decided to give it a good soak in with the hose. I'm going to keep giving this drenching, hopefully soften up some of this hard mud so I can carry on digging. But to get the basic shape, I'm going to try and dig down about 1 foot for the whole area, so I can then fill it with rubble and concrete, make a big concrete base for it. So temperatures have finally cooled down a bit. It's now sort of 27 in the day. It looks like I haven't got very far, but I'm probably got to my depth now. There's a lot of rocks underground, so I'm crushing them up, separating them off, throwing them under the tree, but that'll be about the base depth. So basically, just want to cover this rest of this big square, dig that out now, and the soil I'm putting over there. So I'll give you a little bit of video of me digging, sorting mud and moving it onto the vegetable patch. So I'm using this Portuguese spade. Basically the end flew off, so I've put loads of screws around it now to hold it on. Breaking the soil up. You can see the big rocks and bits of brick in there, but it's pretty nice soil, quite clay-like soil, but quite good. Once I've got it in the wheelbarrow, pulling out the obvious big bricks and stones, throwing them on my pile around the tree, and then just breaking the soil up where it's clumps of clay, just making it fine soil, wheeling it over my homemade ramp and onto the vegetable patch. So I'm still thinking I'm going to fill this up, apart from the area we originally did, which is got things growing in it now. The cabbages are coming back to life, and we've been given a load of strawberry plants, so we planted those in there. I've still got the faintest hope the pomegranate tree will come back to life, so I just keep watering that. So yeah, it's been about a week now. It's been too hot to do anything any other day, and it is just finally cooling down a bit. So the soil has got loads of little stones in it, but I think that's fine for growing and for drainage. And it looks, you know, a good rich colour, so really nice. Okay, day 8 of the dig into China hole. Lovely day today. We got up, it was only about 15 centigrade. It's only about 21 now, so got an hour or so digging so far and not too hot. I'll just turn the camera around and show you where I am. So I'm pretty much at depth there, or I feel like I've maybe gone a little bit over depth. It's kind of ironic, I'm digging up lots of bricks, some bricks I've put down there, lots of rubble, and I'm going to be refilling it with rubble, but I have got all that soil out so far. So I think if I just can finish this square off, I should have enough soil for that. I think we're going to buy some compost to dig into it as well, but definitely getting there. Hopefully finish digging today. So finally the hole is dug. It's very deep, or deep enough. And what I'm going to do is put some wooden edges around it, get them level, so I know where I'm going to go up to, like a form. And then I'm going to start throwing back in a load of rubble. Yes, I could have used what I had, but I'm going to clear the stuff from at the top of the garden over there behind the figs. And although the ground was very rocky, full of bricks, I pretty much filled this with soil. Give it a quick rake over. Like I say, we're going to get some compost to dig into it next. Can't even remember what day it is now, but probably the 9th day of doing this. I've just started to fill it with rubble. I've ordered my cement and bricks and sand. It should be arriving tomorrow. So today I want to get this, using the sledgehammer, smashed into the ground up to just about the bottom layer of the wood. And then the plan is to pour lots of wet cement in there and give it a start off, and then the 2 layers of wood, fill them with concrete to make a level base. So this is going to be the height, and the reason for that is we want to have a drain hole on that side of the plunge pool, so we can drain the water sort of directly into our gardening area. So that should work well, I think. And I bought a pipe and a tap to be able to turn that on and off. So once I get to that, that'll become a lot clearer. Got ourselves 4 bags of horse manure compost. And we're going to put that all in the soil, mix it in with the soil. Also bought another pomegranate tree, a bigger one, and some seeds and a few other things, and the total bill was €35, so seems like a really good prices. So all the horse manure compost raked over. I'm going to give it a soak in now, and that's the new pomegranate tree. The ground was very dry, so I've dug a deep hole, a lot of compost in there. I'm now going to soak the whole lot. Like I say, we've got the cement and sand and bricks coming tomorrow. So that's my base of hardcore, which I'm going to run lots of wet cement in and mix it in as I bash it into the ground. Hopefully that'll give a good solid setting for the plunge pool. So my stuff has arrived. Excuse the noise. Some other work going on next door, I think. I did do a video of me and helping unload it, but it was just very sweaty and panting. It didn't look very good. So that's the stock for building the pool, and I've ordered a lot of extra bricks, so I'm going to need some for inside the house. Hopefully you can hear the sound on this video, but I'm about to fire up the cement mixer and start mixing the first load of cement. So I'm all set up, got my hose, my cement, sand, cement mixer, which I've just tested and it works, wheelbarrow for wheeling it over. Slight problem, I've got a big puncture on the wheel, which I can't really fix, but I'm hoping, as it's pretty much all downhill, I should go that route, go around that way, and it should be good for getting down there and pouring it in. So I'm going to give the first load a mix. So what I'm going to do is 1 part cement, 2 parts sand. Probably do like three shovelfuls of cement, 3 shovelfuls of sand, and get the first runny lot of cement into the foundations. That's the first load ready to go in. Literally going to pour it in and then break it down a little bit into the foundation. Okay, the next day, found out that you can't drive a wheelbarrow with a flat tyre, so I had to pull the tyre off. I am still using it, but I'm going to need to go and try and find a new wheel for it, but it kind of still works. It doesn't look very good, but that's the cement in there at the moment. It has gone rock hard where it's gone in, so now I'm going to put some more in and then top it up with some more hardcore before I start making the concrete properly for the top. Even though it's a lot cooler today, it's only about 22 at the moment, very hot, sweaty, dirty work. I'm already covered in cement. So that's where I've got to this morning so far. I've used 5 of my bags of cement, so the equivalent of 10 bags of sand. I have started to add a bit of gravel to it as well now. And what I'm going to do now is put another layer of hardcore on this. I've also supported this side rather than putting a second beam in because it's such a big gap. I've just put some tiles behind it, so I might end up putting tiles behind all of the planks because they're a bit flimsy. But I think it's going quite well, and obviously in this lovely weather it's going to set quite quickly. Although looking around, it's not due rain. I think this might be some coming tomorrow, but it does look like it could rain any second. If it does, I'll have to drop everything and put my cement in the shed. Another quick break, drinking some of this Portuguese pop, really nice, like cherry flavoured fizzy pop. So I've added another layer of hardcore. So far I've used 5 bags of cement. I'm going to go and I think mix up like 3 now and put them all over that, hopefully start building up the depth a bit more. So another 3 bags of cement and gravel and sand, and I've got to just below the top plank. So I'm going to let this dry. We're having a bit of a day out this afternoon. We're going to Fatima. Neighbours have invited us to go along with them, so that's going to be good. And I need to let this dry a bit anyway. I've given it a good soaking as well. When I come to mix up the top level of concrete, I'm also going to throw some rebar around, which I've got in the shed, just to give it a bit more strength. But for now, leaving that to dry. Probably going to carry on tomorrow, no more today. Okay, we got up today and it's rained overnight. Bit of a shock. I think that might be the first rain in Central Portugal for many months. So I'm coming out to look at my base. It all looks solid. Yep, all solid. I did try and remove this brick yesterday and it all fell out, but luckily that all stayed up. So I'm not going to do much today. I'm going to let it keep setting for now. I am probably going to try and take all the wood off as a first job. And what I've also done, I've left my cement out. It seems okay, but I'm going to go and move that into the shed. So there's my cement. I've got 8 bags left. It has got a bit wet. But touching the bags, it all feels soft inside, so hopefully that's not going to spoil, but I'll get that moved into the shed now. So I've undone some screws. Just got a question of getting these wood off now. Hopefully most of them will just come off fairly easily. So I've got all the wood out. A little bit of damage around the edges, but not a lot. Really pleased. I know it's just a concrete slab, but I'm amazed that I've done it. So like I say, give it another day to dry, and then my next plan is to lay out the bricks. I want to go up to the sort of seating level, lay them out before I work out where the bricks are all going to go, and then start building cement in those. So what I'm going to do is build with normal cement, and then I've got some additive to do a light inside rendering, something that makes the cement waterproof. So just laying out the bricks, 5.5 of those big red bricks lengthwise. And then what we want to do is have 4 corner seats. And Jack is now going to demonstrate whether the seat's the right size. We'll fill in the back with rubble. We're just checking the arm height is going to be correct. So yeah, it's got her seal of approval. That's what we're going to go for. It's another lovely cool morning. And today, I think this is 2 weeks into this project now. Obviously I lost a lot of time at the beginning because it was too hot. But today I'm going to start building the bricks, or cementing the bricks in. I want to get to 4 layers high and the 4 seats. I'm going to give you a close-up now of how we're going to do the seats. So as we demoed yesterday, that's the perfect height really. May not go quite as high behind it, may only go 3 above. I'm going to fill in the backs with rubble and concrete, and hoping that that'll give us sort of a bit more strength as well in each corner. So mixing the cement today, going to mix 3 parts sand to 1 part cement and start laying out the bricks. So that's my first mortar mix. I've been a lot more precise here, making sure I'm definitely a 3:1 ratio, which I've looked up and it's said it's the best. I'm leaving that full of water because I think it's going to take me quite a while to get this laid out. So I'm laying the cement in and then piling the bricks on top. Just going to work round like this. Once I've got all the way around, I'm going to level them up. So I'm kind of leveling them as I do it as well, but I've got the spirit level and I'll go over them properly at the end for each lap around. At this point, I'm going to cut this hole all the way through. That's one that's chipped. And we're going to have I'm going to just put a green hose in here. That's going to be our drainage hose for the pool. So I've literally just chipped this out with the back of the trowel, just to make a little groove. Although these bricks are really strong, they do break up easily. So the hose goes through there. Not sure how we're going to do the drain yet, but we know we need a hose and a pipe through. So I'll put the pipe in there and lay it down. and that'll be our drain route. So I'm just going to cement this row now, and I'll show you the hose going through, how it's going to drain out. Okay, that's the first layer in. You can see the hose comes through that hole. Just going to leave that like that. We're going to work out how to put a drain on it once we come to fill the bottom in. So I got quite lucky really, the way the bricks are going to overlap. So I can do a start and end brick here. So each corner will have an overlap. I'll admit it's completely by luck. Didn't plan this size, just roughly just made a size that we thought the chairs would fit in. But the bricks for the wall are going to fit perfectly all the way around. So I'm going to start the next level and finish layer 2, and then get it all leveled off again. Right, just in early afternoon, I've got to halfway, or over halfway. I'm going to go 7 bricks high. And what I'm doing now, I'm giving it a good soak in, but I'm filling the corners in with concrete, watering it in, filled it with rubble and concrete. I'm going to try and finish today the 4 seats and all the walls. The bricks don't look too bad, a little bit wobbly. It's pretty straight. Obviously the whole lot will be rendered when it's done, and these big 4 concrete pillars are going to give it a lot more strength as well. So I filled all the corners with concrete and just roughly sort of smoothed it out, ready for the waterproof render that will go inside. And I've just gone over the edges where the holes in the end of the bricks to give them a bit of filling in, ready for the outside rendering. And what I'm hoping to finish today is 3 more layers of bricks and at least complete all the brickwork. I am running out of sand. I'm going to need to get some more sand. I've still got 5 bags of cement left, so I've used 15 bags of cement so far for the foundation and the footings and the walls and the seats. So I think I'm just going to have enough, but it's all guesswork if I'm honest. The sun is well and truly out now. It's about 32 in the sun, even though the sky looks quite misty. It did actually rain. So there we are. I think we're almost finished now in terms of bricking. That looks the right height, and I've completely run out of sand. I've gone around the edges, put into concrete around everywhere. That's our drain pipe, which hopefully will feed into our growing area, our garden. So really pleased how it's gone. It's pretty level, but again I think I can level it out more when I render and cement the top. And what I've got to do now is get some more sand so I can carry on cementing, and then get this all covered over, and then look at the inside to make it waterproof. So I've added extra layer, gone up to 7 high, which is going to be sort of middle of your belly height for water, and just started to render the outside. It's rained again here, but I think we're due a couple of dry days. So now the goal is to try and get this render all the way around today. So I finished covering 3 of the sides, 1 to go, down the top, just in a very light coating of cement. Just giving it a quick smooth over. Going to give it another light coating tomorrow, and then move on to the inside of the splash pool. Sit in it now. So sitting here, we should have a nice view of the sunset, although it's a cloudy day today, and looking around, a view of the hills, the garden, and around everywhere. So it should be a really nice spot to sit and relax and cool down on a hot day. So that's this backside rendered. I can tell that I didn't take as much care on this side because it was lots of in and outs to fill. I'm now going to start the inside, and the way I'm going to do that, I've decided just to shovel it onto the seat and work my way up. These gaps at the bottom between the seats, I do want to fill in at an angle to try and make it a big diamond. So I'm thinking all the scrap from the seats, the rough bits, I'll pile down there and try and build them up in some sort of neat pattern. We'll see how that works out. But this is just still an underlayer because I've got the waterproof layer of render to go on top of all this, and then the waterproof paint afterwards. But this should hopefully make it triply waterproof. I've got it quite runny, just running it up the walls. I will smooth it all out as it dries. Just trying to spread this out. There's lots of gaps in the bricks that will be filling in as well, so that's another reason I've made it quite runny. Also, this hot weather here, it doesn't look very hot, but it's going to be up to 30 degrees today. It's already in the mid-20s, so it does dry really quickly. And again, it's another reason for doing it quite runny. But it's going on okay. It looks messy at the moment, but it will all smooth out. So I'll carry on. So that's the first layer on the first corner done. It's going on pretty well. I'm starting to build up that angle I was talking about at each side. I need to go and mix up some more cement now and carry on with the rest of the inside. So that's the inside, given a light coat, and I've smoothed it off a little bit. Let it dry a bit more, smooth it off some more. And I've soaked the bottom and let any sort of cement run down there. So I'm going to give that an hour or so to dry, and then look at making the waterproof cement and putting that on. So I'm now going for the waterproof cement mix, and I've got this here called latex Topeka. I've got to put a 2-to-1 mix, so half a bag of cement, a bag of sand, and just over half this bottle, and then add a bit of water, and that should make the cement waterproof for lining the plunge pool. Just poured in the latex, add some water, sliding it down, and start making the cement. So we're going to call it a day today. I think it's day 15 on this now. As you can see, all of the waterproof cement's on the inside, smoothed off the top and the sides. Going to let the inside dry and then smooth that off, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be ready to put the waterproof paint on it. Okay, so that's all dried out overnight. I've rubbed it down. What I'm going to do is, I couldn't get to the diamond parts, so I'm going to need to get a scraper to scrape those flatter. What I'm going to do as well is build a step just here to make it easier to get in and out of. So next stage, build a step, get that as smooth as we can, just patch it slightly where it needs patching up, and then let that dry, and hopefully today get the first layer of waterproof paint on. So I'm going to make a step as well. We've got this strong concrete block that came from the house when we knocked the wall down. I'm just going to build that up, cover it in cement, and just blend it into the edge. So I'm going to make the cement now. Like I say, sort the inside out a bit more, do some delicate stuff, and then cover this step so it's going to be easier to get in and out. Just put it in the middle. You can stand on that and either step into the middle or step onto one of the seats. Another 30+ day today. Added step, just roughly cemented and concreted that in at the moment, letting that dry, and inside patched over all the rough stuff, or most of it, and going to smooth that over, let it all dry today, and hopefully give it its coat of paint later this afternoon. Also, what I've done, just down there is the end of the hose. I trimmed that back. It's hard to see really, but I run the hose very gently through it and it came out the other end, so at least I know that's not blocked up. Probably one of the most things I'm worried about is that hose not leaking around it, so when I put the paint on, I'm going to really apply lots of paint around the end of the hose, apart from the very end of course. So I painted the outside with extreme weather white paint, waterproof paint. Well, not swimming pool paint, but extreme weather paint. Dusted down the inside, smoothed it off again. It's looking pretty smooth now. Not ideal, but I think that's as much as I can go. So now just going to mix up the blue paint, the fully waterproof paint to go inside. You can see I've splash paint everywhere, but that's fine. It's all on the walls, that's the main thing. And paint the inside, and hopefully get that ready to fill with water tomorrow. So this is my swimming pool paint, which you have to mix the two together. That dilutes it. I've got my mixing stick, and I'm going to use this whole paint pot to mix it in. So I'm going to pour them in, see what it looks like, and give it a mix up. So it took me a while to get the lid off, but there's the paint. So pour that in. Extremely thick paint. Might pour the diluter through that. It smells very petrol-y. That hasn't really come out. Okay, I may try mixing that up in there. Try to get that all out. Okay, things aren't going very well one-handed. Okay, I've got that in there. I've got a paintbrush as well. Let me just put the drill back on. That's made quite a lot of paint, all mixed. I'm going to keep the brush in that paint pot because I can add that on extra at the end. And now I'm going to use a roller, this little roller, and go and apply it in the pool. Okay, so I've made it to the pool. It's extremely chemically smelling, but it does roll on very nicely. So I'll go ahead and do all the sides and the seats. I'm going to leave one seat so I can climb out, and do the floor as well. And hopefully it'll all be nicely painted. But you can see it's a fantastic colour, and to be fair, it is rolling on really well. I was worried we weren't going to have enough paint, but I think we will. I think we'll have loads. So it's going on really well. Haven't used that much paint yet. Already kind of getting to halfway. So I'll just keep going out. Okay. Just going to do the top of it now. I am nearly out of paint. I think I need to get another soup pot, maybe do another coat. But we'll see how this dries. So I managed to go over again some of the main bits. There's a few spills around the edges. Most of them were on me. but I've got some paint left and some in the jar, so I'm going to give it a couple of hours to dry and climb inside and just go over where it looks thin and get the white paint out and go over these splotches. And that's some of the paint on me, and it's on my phone. It's gone everywhere. Hopefully it'll peel off or come off in the shower. If not, I'll have to cover it up. Okay, so I've scraped every little bit of paint out of those pots. I managed to go over it kind of a second time. I think ideally I'd like to give it another coat on the inside, but then ideally I'd like to smooth it all out, maybe tile the outside. So I think I'm going to leave it. Got our drain pipe we know works. We've got waterproof cement, now the waterproof paint, so hopefully this is going to hold water. But I can imagine I'm going to give this a try tomorrow. I've measured it, it's 1.3 metres on the inside square and it's 0.8 deep. The bottom half we lose half the volume, and I've worked it out to be 1 cubic metre, so I think it's 1,000 litres. But what I'm going to do is when I fill it up, I'm going to run the study the water meter and see if it does take 1,000 litres to fill it up, or 1 cubic metre. But for now it's kind of finished. Tomorrow is going to be filling it up day. So calling it a day now. Going to enjoy a nice beer and literally sit here and watch paint dry. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Can't believe I've done it. Tomorrow we'll find out whether the walls are strong enough to hold the water back. If it does all collapse, probably won't release this video. So if you're watching it, it's definitely worked. It's about 5:30 now. There's the temperature. 34 degrees. We are in the sun there, but in the sun it's been up to 40 today. So it is going to break. The temperature's going to drop. We're going to have this ready, this plunge pool ready just in time for the rain, which is also means a drop in temperatures, but I'm sure it's still going to be needed. So day 17, this is going to be the test day. It's going to be a scorcher today, 32 degrees. So what I'm going to do now, put some water in, make sure the drain part works. So it certainly looks waterproof. The drain is not properly at the bottom, but see if that fills up. It does look like it's holding water. Yeah, it's starting to fill up. I definitely need to get more paint. It looks a bit patchy. So I'm going to give it a second coat, but probably next week. Today's Sunday, the shop won't be open. And the drain is draining slightly. No, it looks like it's working. Turn the water off. Yeah, it's definitely draining out. Obviously when it's deep, it should drain out with a bit of pressure. It's not the nicest thing to look at. So there's a massive spider in there, it's killed a wasp. But I can see the meter. It's on 1, 2, 8, and then the red number's an 8. So it's 9:25, just started filling it. I've took the hose adapter off because it will fill a lot quicker with the hose just running straight in there. It's quite strong pressure here. Already noticed a load of dirt on the hose. I should have cleaned that off really. So I'll probably give that a wipe down. So I'm going to let that fill up, see if it holds the water and see how much water it takes to fill it. On my measurement, I think it comes out at about 1,000 litres, so probably to fill it, it's going to be 800 or 900 litres. So it's about 10 minutes so far. It's getting up to halfway full. Finding out how level it is now. This seat is filling up first, so it's obviously lower than the rest. But not by much, maybe a centimetre, half a centimetre. So now that's filling, I'm just going to check my drainage hose. Oh yeah, that comes out with some pressure. Okay, we're going to call that full. That was 20 minutes. The water isn't even that cold, straight from the ground, from the pipes. So, but what I found these 4 bits of wood I've got left over in the shed. I've got some shade netting. I'm going to make a cover for it, because the last thing we want is anybody or anything getting in there, like a cat. I'm going to go and check the water meter now, see how much water it's used. So I didn't realise there was actually 3 red digits at the end of the water meter. It's gone to 128909. Okay, so it's been full for about half an hour. Just going round, walking round it, looking for any sign of leaks.
Wendy.
Everything looks really dry around here. Obviously not where the tap was.
Yeah. Wendy.
Yeah, doesn't appear to be leaking. It hasn't gone down anything, so looks like it's definitely holding its water. Just need it to warm up now. So made this cover just out of the wood and some of this shade netting. So it's not, but I think if anything fell on there it could get off. So it's ever so lightweight. Just going to lift it off now. So put the cover out of the way. A bit of grass fell in. It looks like we're about to christen the plunge pool. So we're in, it's lovely. Still got all my blue paint on me. Just what we need. It's got up to 25 degrees, 26 degrees. The water's, not sure, probably 10 degrees, lovely. So yeah, it looks like a triumph. It is a triumph. So I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing. We've got to 1,000 subscribers. We never thought we would. So it's really encouraging. It's been about 17 days of work, 18 days. Total cost, cement, we used 19.5 bags. That was about 80 euros. Bricks, we used 150 big bricks, 75 euros. Sand, 2 lots of sand, some bags and a big bag. That was about 70 euros. And the paint and the latex, we are going to get some more paint. So it's going to add up to about another 70 euros. So altogether, I think it's come in well under 300 euros, and we're delighted. And Wendy and Star enjoying being hand watered from the paddling pool. Chemical free. Not sure they're going to go in this, but if it's very hot, we might give them a dunk in. You never know. Yeah, there's their tiny paddling pool in the distance.